Hi there, this is Bob Orchard, come to you from Old Town Mariposa in the beautiful downtown historic Mariposa Hotel. And this with me is my almost good friend, Scott Nady. Scott, who's been with me once or twice before, is going to talk to us a little bit about being a host in Mariposa and greeting. We had a heck of a weekend, didn't we, Scott?
And we did. Hello, Bob. Thank you for having me. I want to say I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to sit down with you and talk about Mariposa.
Well, this is, the conversation that we had is what sparks this whole thing, and this is leading into something bigger, because you and I are going to be doing this on a regular basis as a regular part of a separate show from Old Town Mariposa.
Okay, I hope so.
You hope so?
I know so.
Okay. You know what? You keep talking like this, and Walt's going to fire us both.
Okay, we got to take care of Walt. You want me to tell you how I got to Mariposa? Because I want to know how you got to Mariposa.
Okay.
I was born in Southern California and grew up in a little town called Huntington Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up there surfing and doing all the Huntington Beach things that you see on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually Mom and Dad moved up here about 20 years ago, and we started visiting. And 20 years later in Los Angeles, I couldn't sit in the traffic and the crowd and all that anymore. So finally we decided to come visit and stay. Sold everything in Southern Cal, and here we are. We've been here for about 1 year and 3 months.
Well, welcome to Mariposa.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here, and I got to tell you, the reason we stayed after we visited is the people.
Well,
like you,
that's good
like
to hear.
Walt.
That's good to hear.
Like everybody around town.
And of course you took the exam.
I passed. I did pass. Actually took it twice.
Well, you can take it a dozen times, but you have to pass before you can become a resident.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't let people wander into town and be residents here.
There's got to be standards.
And of course you have to have references, and your dad is your reference.
Jim's a good man.
Jim and I have a lot of history together. You know that,
right?
We have reserved seats in the stadium at the Grizzly Stadium. We've watched every football game that's been played for the last 10 years, I think. But at any rate,
and that brings to the question: how did you arrive in Mariposa, and how long have you been here?
Well,
here we go. Here's the real story.
The real story. 28 years ago, okay, I was sitting in my office up in Oroville, Butte County, and I used to get flyers for jobs, and I'd pass them out to my staff. I had quite a few people working in it, and so part of the career development program was, as the director of the agency, I would shoot this job description. I got this job description for a planner director in Mariposa County, but it didn't really describe what they wanted that planner to do. Right?
Did you know where Mariposa was?
No.
No. Okay.
So but I looked it up on the map.
Okay.
You know.
Did they have maps back then?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Sure.
But they weren't electronic.
Right.
38 years ago.
No Google Maps, no
Google Maps. I don't think Gore hadn't invented the internet yet.
Right. But the cars were working cars.
Yes, they actually had cars and all that stuff. So anyway,
no horse and buggy.
There was this job description. It didn't really talk about a lot of things, so I called up to find out how I should route this. I called up the county council, who was the administrator of the things in the county, and I said, I've got this flyer here, and what are the qualifications for the job? You know, so I can direct it to the right person in my staff.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, I don't know. He says, you know, it's kind of a planner. We need somebody to help with some grant things. And so I said, well, what about if somebody was this and somebody had done that and had this degree and had gone through this program and da-da-da, these qualifications? He says, send me a resume. He says, sounds good to me.
And you were talking about yourself or somebody else?
Oh, I was just saying what kind of qualifications for you.
Okay.
So anyway, I did. I sent them a resume.
Your resume?
I sent them my resume. And I got a job interview offer. And, you know, I was a young, aspiring, part-time college student at Chico. I was working on my graduate degree in public administration, trying to decide whether I wanted to be a public administrator or not. I came up here to interview with the Mariposa County Board of Supervisors, and then they didn't offer me the job. And I've been here ever since.
And they never did a background check to see the real...
Yeah, actually they did. And I don't think they've done too many background checks since then, but at any rate, that's getting political. But the reality is that I took the job. I was here, I served as a county plan director for 8 years. When it was time to move on, I wasn't, career-wise I was ready, but I wasn't ready to leave these mountains. I got hooked on the mountains and the lifestyle. You know, there's places where it fits. You know, I could wear my Levi's to work, and there weren't too many places.
I got my Levi's, and I wear my hat every once in a while.
So you know, personalities fit certain places, and I fit here. It was a tumultuous time. I came here in '77, and we were going through some serious growth pains, and I learned a lot, and I made some really good friends, and it's just been the perfect place for me. So it was a good fit, and I've had some really great people training me over the years, and you probably should be talking to some trainers as well. Actually, we're going to be doing a show later on with one of my trainers.
Trainers? Like
trainers. I mean, people who can acculturate you to the real life here in Mariposa. I don't think your dad has told you all the secret handshakes and things.
Well, I want to know about the mines and the secret tunnels under the town. I hope we can get into that one day.
One day.
Because I know the gold coin is not just about the gold coin burger. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's gold, and then there's
a lot going on. At any rate, we started talking about this, doing a show together.
Right.
A few months ago.
Yep.
And what led you into that? I thought it was kind of a fun idea, and here we are. We're getting ready to do our first show, but you were talking about what is there to do in Mariposa?
Right. I have a lot of friends in LA that like I say, I grew up with surfing and playing music, and they used to come visit me from Huntington Beach to LA, which was about an hour in the car, but they wouldn't do that. But they'll drive 4 or 5 hours to come see me in Yosemite, and they say, well, what's there to do in that town? And so, that's a loaded question, because we have, lakes, rivers, mountains, the park, everything.
You have a list here.
Well, yeah.
Just run that list down for me.
You want me to read?
Yes.
Well, you got the Yosemite Park. People have heard of that. I think it's probably the nicest park in the country, if not, one of the top 5 in the world.
It was the first.
First park in the country?
First national park in the country. Originally it was a state park. By the way, we're going through a 125th anniversary of park dedication.
That's a great question. We'll have to research that, because I don't know if it's 125 or 150.
Yeah, there's some big celebration going on, and that's part of the program that we're going to be doing, is some of the events that are scheduled around that.
But a lot of friends, they like, that I know, they like the outdoors, and if you're going to come visit, they don't want to come and go play video games. They want to, go hiking, fishing, boating, mountain biking, camping, ride motorcycles in the street and the off-road. There's gold panning, prospecting, caving. We got a lot of restaurants up here. I think the Gold Coin is something you know about.
I know a little bit about that.
I've heard it's really a great place.
So it is a really great place.
It's a fun place. It's the friendliest place in town, I've heard.
Well, we try to be hospitable, but that's part of our role as a merchant now.
Well, and
being hospitable.
That's part of the program here in town. Is we're not just selling food or beverages or whatever we're selling in the stores. We're selling personality and friendship.
Of course, but
there's no price on it.
But getting back to the list, we got
wine tasting, beer tasting. We have a lot of great winemakers in town and beer makers.
We do.
Brewers. There's a lot of bars and shopping here. We have the zip line. Yosemite zip line there.
Yes, indeed.
We have some archery. We have a shooting range over here.
Yeah, Mariposa
shooting
fishing
sports.
game. Mariposa
Yep.
fishing game. We have trap shooting on. Well, I'm not sure what the schedule is this
We're
week.
gonna have to go down there and do some trap shooting sometime.
You're gonna
For a beach boy, I'm a pretty good shot.
You're gonna be really embarrassed.
Hey, I'll wear my hat, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And there's a lot of music here. Obviously, there's a band that I'm in called Rio Loco, and we play at Bob's Place on Saturday nights, except for this Saturday.
Except for this.
We have a special engagement elsewhere, but there's, I'm sure there's going to be a good band in there. So, and there's some art and music festivals up here. We have the Butterfly Festival, which is one of our biggest events, first weekend in May.
And we have something really special coming up. We have the Storytelling Festival in a few weeks.
Right. And of course, at the end of the summer, Labor Day weekend, isn't it?
Yes.
September 1st, we have the Mariposa County Fair, which I think, the town population swells to 10 times the amount because everyone comes to,
So there is something.
be a cowboy. There's a lot of things there. We got a farmer's market here.
Yes.
I heard, and this is a rumor, and we're going to put it out there. I heard we're going to start having some, Western weekends.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that why you wore your hat?
Exactly. I'm practicing. I'm auditioning. I'm going to be a beach boy cowboy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was told. You told me. Maybe.
I heard people are trying to organize an event with horses and stagecoaches and kind of like a gunfighter thing, like a little Old West.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be quite.
So let's put the word out there and try and
Yes.
bring it together. I know you know some people.
I know some people.
Okay.
I know some people.
And you know some people that know how to get things done, right?
Yeah, I do.
Like Walt.
Like Walt.
You told me to kind of keep an eye on the time. And
Well,
I think it's time.
we're right at the end of the session.
Okay.
And we're going to talk some more about this. But
thank you.
But
I'm glad to be here in Mariposa. Glad to be part of your
Old Town Show.
Your Old Town Show, and hopefully we can have some fun and let people know what is going on in Mariposa. What is happening?
Well, I think that's a great show.
Every week. And if you have, I'm going to say one more thing in front of you. If you have anything that you have going on, a special event with your business or a charity event, anything that's in and around Mariposa, we have a Facebook page, Old Town Mariposa.
Right.
Go to the Facebook page, send us the information, and leave us a message, a phone number, or an email way to get in contact with you, or friend us, like us, all that stuff. And let's make this an interactive community kind of, hey, here's what's happening. This, Jenny Benning down the street, she just had a granddaughter a month ago, and now she's having 2 grand boys. She's got 3 kids, 3 granddaughters, 3 grandkids.
And I think that's an amazing story. And what part of it goes into the heart of declining enrollment in our school system, and we're going to be fixing that, right? I love the way
we're trying to home grow the Mariposites.
Team Mariposa.
I'm with you.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Bob.
My guest today,
I appreciate it.
And we'll be back with you again next week.
Okay.
Have a great day.
See you then.